Hey guys, if you like what we do here on the channel, do not forget to hit that like button there. Drop us a subscribe if you want to see more of our content, and we do have a Patreon up at the moment. We're working towards some content on there, so check that link out if you wish, and we'll see you hopefully on the Discord. Once again, back with the Race to Minsk campaign featuring Bagration Germany versus Bagration Soviets. Let's get to the forces. Starting with the German force for today, we have a Panzer IV company with the 16th Panzer Division rebuild card, so that gives me a lower tactics rating for -1 point per unit in the any tank or Panzer Grenadier company that I selected. So we have an HQ of 2 Panzer IV-H. We have a platoon, or sorry, 2 platoons of 4 Panzer IVs, I believe the H variant. We have a Panzer Grenadier platoon with 4 half-tracks, 7 teams that are MG teams with Panzerfausts. And we have a Ostwind Flakpanzer Platoon with 2 Ostwinds. In support, we will be bringing 3 Jagdpanzer 470s, first on the channel, along with the Ostwind, a SDKZ 250 Scout Troop, and a Puma Scout Troop. And while those look like martyrs, they are in fact portraying Wesppes today, because I still haven't gotten the Wesppes in that I ordered, and I'm really wanting to play with some armored German artillery. So that will be my 100-point force for today. Bree has built her Bagration Soviet force as 2 formations. First is a T-34-85 tank company, an HQ, 2 platoons of, or sorry, 2 companies technically, of 5 tanks, a single 82mm mortar platoon with 3 mortars, and a 76mm anti-tank company. Her second formation is a minimum-sized motor rifle formation, which we forgot to get the HQ teams out for. But there are 2 platoon, or again 2 companies of motor rifles. They are the Hero motor rifle variant with the 11 DPMG teams, the Commissar, and we've upgraded them with 2 Maxims. And then in support, we have the IL-2s and our custom-built BA-64. Okay, so here is an overhead view of today's game. We are playing The Village, which is going to be a hasty attack, with a couple of buildings in the center there to represent the village. And we threw down the river crossing river mat just for a little bit of variety, because everyone else has been filming river crossing games and I feel like we're missing out.
He's mad jealous, guys.
Just a little bit. No, I'm not jealous. I'm really enjoying everyone else's content, so I just wanted to see how it will impact the game. We're going to use all 3 crossings as if they're just bridges, and then the rest of it will be impassable to vehicles and infantry. And Bree rather intelligently and cleverly put objective there on the left flank of the river, so I did the same on the other flank. So we'll see how this works out. I'm really looking forward to this. Alright, let's do deployment and get into it.
Alrighty, so as a defender, I'm defending, question mark, hopefully, these 2 points right here. So I have placed my 2 different tank companies sitting on the 2 points. My tank HQ is right there, kind of in the middle, hoping to provide support for both. My OP is here with some pretty decent field of vision. And then I have my mortars sitting right here. And everything else I have is in reserve or in ambush.
Alright, so I started off by deploying my 250 scout section and spearheading. I mean, I couldn't really spearhead too far because I had to be 16 inches away from the end of deployment, but spearheading to here, and then in the 8-inch bubble they create, I was able to fit in 2 of my half-tracks with the other 2 in my actual deployment zone, so they're hopefully going to get up that way. Then a Panzer IV platoon here, Panzer HQ, Ostwind, and the other Panzer IV platoon with the other stuff in reserve. So we'll see how this works. Alright, turn 1, German movement. My SDK said 250 scouts, terrain dashed forwards because I was hoping I could get them into the tree line. I did a crosshair order while doing that and got 2 of them to successfully pass to get into it. One of them failed the command track there. and he's sitting just outside. Then the the Armoured Panzergrenadiers trundled up behind them, threatening that flank. Over here, both Panzer IV platoons and the Panzer IV command have advanced forward, hoping to get some early shots on some Soviet tanks. And the Ostwind Flakpanzers cross-country dashed over here. I know there's no plans on the table yet, but trying to get used to having that AA bubble around my tanks as I move forward. Moving on to shooting. All right, on to the German shooting phase. So what we're going to do, a little different from normal again, just again, experimenting just like the last episode. I'm going to explain all of my shooting thoughts at the moment. We'll go ahead, we'll do it, and we'll come back and recap at the end and explain any changes at that point. So first, this Panzer IV platoon is going to engage that T-34-85 company over there. They are over 16. Next, they didn't have line of sight to anything, so they are not engaging. And this Panzer IV platoon is going to engage that T-34-85 company on the left flank. Again, over 16.
Right.
So we'll roll, look at the results, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so 3 shots from them into that company resulted in 2 hits. Unfortunately, Bree was not able to bounce the armor, and the firepowers were all successful.
The dice abandoned me, guys.
It's payback for last week.
Yeah.
All right, next was this platoon shooting at them, resulting in 2 hits out of 4 shots. And again, unfortunately, the dice just barely abandoning her, and I passed my firepowers. So we've got 2 dead tanks in that company, 2 dead tanks in that company. And that's the end of the German shooting, turn 1. So we're moving on to Soviet turn 1.
Alrighty, so in my movement turn, I just moved the 1 tank from this platoon up a little bit to provide some support for the HQ tank. These guys have moved over a little bit, take some cover from the guys in the field up right there, kind of hiding a little bit behind the haystacks and their dead comrades. And yeah.
All right, Soviet shooting step. What are we going to do, or what are we planning to do, and then we'll do it.
All right, so these guys over here who have taken their cover here are going to take a few shots at your guys in the field. These two, the HQ tank and the tank from this group here, are going to take some shots into your guys right there. And these two are going to turn their turrets and hopefully take some shots at your carriers over there before they come up to my butt. All right, so the 2 tanks here shot across the river, managed to bail out one of the carriers. These 2 guys shot into the group there, and one of them managed to destroy one of Jacob's tanks. And these 3 shot into the guys in the field and also managed to destroy one of those guys.
I mean, I'd like to say we had more where they came from, but I mean, it's Germany. We really don't. So.
No. Not quite as much carnage as Jacob had in his first round of shooting, but the game is on.
Indeed. On to turn 2. All right, so turn 2, German starting step. I'm going to attempt to remount that half-track over there. It remounts on a 5+. It does not remount.
Okay.
And then I will roll for my reserves, because I forgot to do that last turn.
Whoops.
And I'll get a unit.
Okay.
So we'll be right back after I finish my movement step. All right, turn 2, German movement. So first off, we dismounted the half-tracks and moved into the forest. And the scout section crossed forward as well. At the end of the movement phase, just before I move on to the rest of the stuff, I did attempt a follow me on the Panzergrenadiers and hop forward, but the rest failed to follow. The Panzer IVs are advancing on this side, hoping to go toe-to-toe with the command and the Panzer Company, the T-34 company. Flak Panzers are moving forward as well, and the HQ retired to the other side. I do not wish to risk them just yet. They're going to hide hull down on that hill again. My Panzer IV 70s moved on from reserve and road dashed forward. Kind of wish I tactical. They could have taken a nice pot shot there on the T-34 up the road, but next turn maybe. And I attempted a cross check and failed. I did take the 16th Panzer rebuild card, so my tactics is a 4+, not a 3+, and I rolled a 3. So they just moved forward to the edge there and are going to continue to take shots at the T-34 company with the additional +1 this turn. Okay, so my plan for this shooting phase, 2 of these Panzer IVs are going to engage the one T-34 from the company that's in the crops, while the other the other Panzer IV is going to engage the command T-34. One of my command Panzer IVs is going to take a Hail Mary pot shot at the observer there. Again, the Jagd Panzers can't shoot because they dashed. And the 3 Panzer IVs over here will take the shots at the T-34s that are in cover, with the additional +1 for having having failed a blitz move, and also still possibly being over 16. So we'll do the dice and be right back. All right, so we started here. I unfortunately missed all 3 shots because they are in cover. I then used my command tank there to shoot at the OP. I suppose I should probably turn the turret. Like so, needing a 6 to hit, and I missed. And then we shot over here with all 3 tanks targeting that T-34 in the center of the screen, just because he was at 15.5 inches away, so there wasn't the plus for over 16. Only 1 hit, and I managed to successfully bail him out. So the command step of Soviet turn 2 will be attempting to remount that tank.
Let me just double check his 4+ because he's confident.
Does he not have a remount rating?
No, he just has a last stand.
Right, he's not a hero tank. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, he
gets
remount.
back in.
All right, and then moving on to the movement.
Alright, so in Soviet turn 2 movement step, we just kind of shimmy these guys around, get everybody kind of behind a hay bale. Get a little bit of cover from them, but still get them some pretty good lines of sight. The OP moved over a little bit to hopefully kind of do some dropping on the bridge there as Jacob's forces try to make themselves across. And the last 2 tanks in the group there passed a cross check and came into the woods, giving themselves a bit of cover. Still kind of being able to keep an eye on the bridge, but still being able to provide some support for those tanks as they slowly roll in threateningly. And I think that's it. On to shooting. Alrighty, so I am going to drop some artillery on your guys there and hope for the best. The top armor's 1. So
yeah, I mean,
do something.
You've seen how I roll. Everyone has seen how I roll. It is very possible.
You've also seen how I roll.
You do a lot better, don't you?
These 3 plus the command are going to shoot into that group of 3 tanks as well. And these guys are going to continue to exchange fire with these guys over here.
Sounds good. So we'll do said dice rolling, and we'll be right back.
Alrighty, so in the shooting stage, we fired some artillery that did absolutely jack squat. Tanks had a little bit more success, or a lot bit more success, destroying 2 and bailing 1. But over here, not a whole lot of much happened. In fact, nothing happened.
All right, German turn 3, starting step. We're going to start with remounting the bailed out tank on a 3+. Yep. That is the only one we have to do. And then we're going to do a last stand test on him on 3+, because he has for the rake. Yes, so he sticks around. And then my reserve rolls, I will automatically get 1 if I do not get a 5+. So I will automatically get 1.
Alrighty.
Moving on. All right, movement. Brought the Wesppes on. Fell the Flakpanzers back. A little afraid of those T-34s. Tactical forward, the Jagd Panzers. And then realized their side armor is shit. So we'll see how that goes. They stayed stationary. And then he is hiding behind the trees, playing cat and mouse with those T-34s. Then before they moved, I brought on, back onto the table, the, 251 Halftracks. And then I moved forward the unit, and then I cross-heered with the SDKS scouts, and they all passed this time, and they moved into that tree stand. All right, so for my shooting, the Panzer Platoon on my left flank will engage the T-34 platoon. One of the Jagd Panzers will also engage the T-34 platoon, and another one of the Jagd Panzers will engage the command T-34.
Okay.
And that'll be about it. Okay, so we started with the Panzer IV platoon there, shooting into the T-34s, killing one, bailing out the other. Then the Jagdpanzers, he shot at that T-34, missing. He shot at the command T-34, hitting, going straight in and destroying it, and then the commander swapped to the next nearest T-34. And that will be my shooting phase, and we're going to move on next to turn 3 Soviet. Okay, turn 3 Soviet, we have a remount on that T-34, which will be a 4+, as they're confident.
Nope.
Does not bail in, so then it's a last stand check on a 3+.
Yes.
They stay around. Okay, and then 1 die for reserves on turn 3.
No.
Okay.
All right, so Soviet movement step, turn 3. So these guys did a cross check to bring themselves a little bit farther into the trees, a little bit closer to that one surviving tank. I pulled out my ambush to support and protect the objective there on the bridge. This guy came around this way to hopefully get some shots at the Jagdpanzers who crossed over that way, and perhaps come and help his comrades over here so that one can stop trying to run away. All right, and that's all for movement. All right, so for this turn shooting, I'm going to rearrange in the artillery using the OP, hopefully dropping it here-ish and trying to obliterate some of your infantry. These guys are going to shoot him and hopefully get him the heck out of here. He's going to take some shots at Jagdpanzer. And the one remaining tank over here is going to take some more shots at the guys in the field. Oh, and these guys are going to take some shots at them. Alrighty, so in the shooting stage, we shot the anti-tank towards the guys on the bridge. Got 4 shots, not quite enough to pin them, but we did manage to kill one of them. These guys shot into him, managing to bail him out, but not quite destroy him. He shot into the Jagdpanzer, but it bounced off his front armor. And he shot into the Panzer in the field, but again bounced off front armor. On turn 4.
Starting step, German turn 4. Gonna remount that Panzer IV on a 3+. Yep. And then I will do a last stand check because he is the last tank remaining. Yes. All right, and then my reserve roll, and I get my last unit on. Okay, in the German movement phase of turn 4, we brought on the Pumas. They started there and road dash all the way up.
It was intimidating as heck, guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're only light vehicles, but they are wheeled, so they're fast. The Jagdpanzers spread out there to pour some shots into the command tank. And the infantry and their tracks are advancing to try and take that point. So we'll see if this will be all over by the end of next turn. Okay, so for this shooting step, I'm going to take these Panzer IVs, shoot into your T-34s there. Pumas can't shoot because they dashed. The Jagdpanzers will shoot into the command T-34. I'll attempt to spot using my formation commander to drop a bombardment on him and hopefully hit your mortars. Okay. That Panzer IV will engage your 2 T-34s, and everything over here will attempt to engage the anti-tank guns. Alrighty. So let's get on to rolling. Alright, German turn 4 shooting. 6 shots from those Panzers managed to miss those T-34s. The Jagdpanzers, however, did not miss and destroyed the command track. I then ranged in my Wesppes on top of the where the command track was and hit 2 of the mortars, pinning them but not killing them. My Panzer, it did hit them but only succeeded in bailing out, and then a couple of MG shots and my 20 mils did enough to pin them on the anti-tank guns but not enough to kill them. So we'll see if I can push forward on my next turn after weathering the storm of fire that is coming at me. Turn 4, Soviets, command step. Germans pressing you hard. Yep. So we're going to start with some remounts. We're going to start there.
Yep. And then we'll do that.
And do the other one.
All right, so we'll start there. Do you get back in? You do not.
So then this one over here will get
back
back in.
Finally, you did
Now
it.
we're going to unpin, so who's going to unpin first?
We'll do these guys first.
All right.
Yep.
And then the 76 mil. Yes.
Yes.
All right. And then the last thing to do is a last stand check on that T-34 company there.
Yep.
They stay.
Hang in there.
And then 2 dice for your reserves. Uh-oh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
That's going to end poorly. I'm strung out on a little crossing.
I think I have to roll to see where they come on.
Oh, yes, because it is scouted.
Double-check
All right.
that one.
So we'll do the rolls, and then we'll let you know during the movement step where they came in. All right, turn 4, so it'll be a movement. Take us through it, huh?
All right, so my reserves have finally arrived. 1 unit came on here in kind of a blob formation, taking partial cover in the trees behind some of the dead tanks, and then some of them, the more ballsy ones, are just like, screw it, for the motherland, out we go. These guys, much the same, screw it, for the motherland, out we go. Some of them are still in the field or behind some dead tanks, but these guys are just like, forget it, we need to hold the point. I think that's all that moved, honestly. Everything else is kind of staying put, trying to get the best shot they can. Yeah.
All right, Soviet shooting step, turn 4. Let us know what you're going to do.
All right, so we're going to try and range in on these guys kind of towards the back, so I'm not too danger close. And hopefully then I can kind of take out some of your half-tracks and carriers and such over here. The one tank that remains here is going to continue to joust with him. These guys, I have these 3 and this one, can fire into them. The guy with the cow can also fire into these guys. These 2 tanks are going to fire, one of them through cover, but at these guys. And this blob, as best as they can, are going to also fire at them. All right, so we managed to range in and
Pin me down.
pin you down. We didn't take anything out. That one half-track did get destroyed, but it got destroyed by the
76 mils?
yes, the one with the cow there. These guys fired the motor rifles fired some shots into the grenadiers on the bridge, but nothing happened. Oh, that's correct, sorry. He fired in the last remaining tank there, and it was destroyed. So hopefully now they'll be able to, as long as that guy bails back in, both of them turn around and provide some more covering fire on the bridge. These 2 fired some shots into them, bailing them both out. I think that was it.
All right, German turn 5, command step. I got to remount those Pumas on a 4+. I don't. And their reluctant motivation. They stick around.
Alrighty.
Almost forgot, I still have to unpin my infantry on the bridge. So on a 4+, they unpin.
All right.
All right, my movement. I've continued to advance across that bridge there. I have terrain dashed forward by command tanks and my flak panzers because I want to take that point. The panzers moved up a little bit and are going to open up with their MGs. And the Panzer IVs are maneuvering to get some flank shots. So, for shooting, Panzer IVs are going to engage your T-34s. Panzers are going to MG your infantry.
All right, I guess.
I'm going to repeat the bombardment on top of your command tank.
Super.
Over here, I'm going to have one dude with his slow-firing Panzerfaust try and hit that bailed-out tank. And then the 2 front rank MGs will open up into your infantry. And the scout section, likewise, will open up on the infantry.
Okie doke. We're going to roll some dice and we'll be right back.
All right, in the shooting phase, those Panzers, I managed to get a single side shot on the T-34s and killed it. With the bombardment and the Panzers there with their MGs, I managed to kill a few of the teams in the company and pin them and the mortars. And then over here, unfortunately, the Panzerfaust did not hit the intended target. And then with the MG fire from the front rank and the 20 mils from the scouts, I killed a few more of the infantry there, pinning them as well. Soviet turn 5 starting step. We've got some checks to make, so take us through it, huh?
Alright, I gotta bail
Remount
him
him?
back in.
Okay.
I have to unpin all my infantry.
Mm-hmm.
Unpin my artillery.
Yep.
If he doesn't bail back in, he needs a last stand, and he also needs a last stand.
Yes, so let's start with the remount there.
Okay. No.
Okay, and then we'll go your left to right, so we'll unpin the motor rifles over there.
Okay.
3+ because they have the commissar.
I'm changing dice.
They
No,
don't unpin.
gosh darn.
Your mortars, I believe, are a 4+.
No.
And then the other motor rifle is also a 3+ because they still have a commissar.
Yes.
Hey, they do unpin. Okay, that's good. And then a last stand check. We'll do this T-34 here. 3+.
Nope.
So unfortunately, they do run away.
Okay.
And a last stand on that lone T-34 there. He sticks around.
Okay.
But wait, there is more. We forgot reserves. Your IL-2s come on.
I get my planes!
All right. And then you just roll to see if they actually come on.
One die is 4+, I believe.
I believe so.
No.
Okay. Well, but hey, they're coming on every turn now.
Yes, they exist now. Alright, so very small movement steps, since a lot of things can't quite advance towards Jacob's forces. The blob of these guys here, of my hero motor, have advanced forward, hoping to maybe assault the bailed out tanks to just get them gone, leaving the Maxims here in cover. They can't move because they're still pinned down. And that tank is still just kind of staying where he is to provide covering fire and or to shoot at them. Alright, so the hero motor rifles here are going to shoot into them. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stands, I believe, that can shoot.
Sounds right.
8 stands that can shoot.
He might be too far into the forest at his back.
Yeah, I think you're right. So 7 stands. 2 of the 76s are going to shoot into them as well. And this last lone T-34 is going to shoot at the Panzers. And then we're going to attempt to assault these 2 build-up tanks just to get them gone.
All right.
And that's it. All right, so I managed to cut down the infantry here on the bridge down to its last man and pinned them down. Otherwise, nothing else happened.
Unfortunately, the T-34 missed his shots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming too fast.
Yep.
My
He's like,
camouflage is working.
panic, 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 panic. He is the only tank remaining.
Yep.
So next thing we're going to do is we're going to assault there, and we'll come back after it's been resolved.
All right, so the motor rifle there, this team, they moved up 4 inches and engaged on the side so that they were just behind the front line of the Jägerpanzers, so that the Jägerpanzers could not defensive fire. And because I was bailed out, you automatically destroy my Pumas and then consolidate back. So,
yep.
Well done. All right, command step, we're going to unpin the unit there on a 4+. So they unpin, and then the last stand, because there's only 1 team left, on a 3+. So they stick around. On by movement. Okay, in my movement step, Jägerpanzers continue to advance, pulled up the Ostwinds and the command Panzer IV. That platoon is swinging around the flank. And then over here, the Halftracks moved up to help with weight of fire. The lone dude dug in, and yeah, moving on to shooting. Okay, for my shooting phase, that Panzer platoon, one of the Panzers is going to shoot the T-34. The other 2 are going to shoot the infantry. Command Panzers, sorry, are going to shoot the infantry as well as will the Flakpanzers if I can get line of sight, and the Jägerpanzers. The Jägerpanzers, they're not Panthers.
Yes.
On this flank, the machine gun team that's dug in will shoot with his moving rate of fire, and his tracks will add their rate of fire into what's left of the motor rifles. And the scout section will either shoot the motor rifles or the anti-tank guns, depending on what I need. All right, so we pinned out that tank. Would have been better to kill it, but hopefully that works. And with the weight of fire over here from the Panzers, the Jagd Panzers, and the Ostwinds, cleared out a fair few of those guys. Over here, got real good shots with the Halftracks, clearing out a bunch, and pinned down the 76s with the scout cars, but still haven't killed them. So we're going to launch some assaults, I think. I am going to launch an assault with the Jagd Panzers into the infantry there, and I'm going to consider launching an assault with the tracks into the dudes, and we'll come back with the results. All right, so the self-propelled guns cleared that corner of the crop and consolidated in. And I wussed out and did not launch that assault because they're pinned, but there's still 4 AT shots, and I kind of need those MGs. So moving on to Soviet turn 6. Feeling the pressure, huh?
Big time.
Sorry.
It's okay.
All right, what are we doing?
So I gotta bail him back in.
Yeah, remount.
Remount. And
Unpin
then
all your dudes.
unpin freaking everybody.
Okay.
Except for these guys. They didn't get pinned down, I don't think, did they?
Yes, with the way I hit them more than 5 times, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry. We forgot to put down a marker, so we forgot.
My bad.
And then a last stand test, and then planes. So let's get to rolling.
Alrighty, so bail that guy back in.
No.
No.
No, because his remount was a 4+, right?
Yes. Okay. So his last stand.
Yes, he does stick around.
Okay.
Because he's.
I did that out of order again. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right. So do some unpinning.
So these guys stick around.
Yep. Mortars.
These guys. No.
Unpin. AT guns.
AT guns. Yes, I think. Yes.
And the squad.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then plane.
And then plane.
No.
No. Alrighty, so in Soviet movement step, these guys just kind of shimmied around to hopefully get the most out of their shots. Forgot to say, we did roll for my final reserve and brought in these guys. So they came up and dashed on to join the fray over here. They shimmied around a little bit to get into better cover, to hide from those guys. That's it.
Almost forgot to mention, they had attempted and succeeded in digging in. So now Bree's going to let us know what we're going to do for shooting.
All right. Unfortunately, these guys can't do diddly squat, but hang out in their foxholes and pray to whoever they pray to. The guys here have kind of lined up to hopefully get as many shots as possible into your final grenadier on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Big guns, gonna shoot your vehicles. And that's it. All right, so I poured the shots into them, and they missed. So I decided to change targets and pour my 76s into him, and they obliterated him. He is no more.
And as a consequence, his tracks disappear.
Yup, they just go screw this and run back to the back.
Oh well.
But that's it for my shooting, and on to turn 7.
Yep. All right, German turn 7. I had nothing to do in my command step, so we went straight to movement. Yeah, that's going to happen. I'm going to either kill them and by fire or assault or, yeah. And they're just going to stay stationary and try and pin them down, along with some mortar strikes, maybe. So on to shooting. Okay, on this flank, the scout section is going to pour all the guns into the 76 millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
I am then going to attempt to spot using this gun to range in on your infantry over there. If I have line of sight, I have to get down and look still.
Yep.
Next, the Jagd Panzer 470s will stationary cannon shot into them.
Mm-hmm.
The Flakpanzers will moving rate of fire cannons into them.
Mm-hmm.
The command tanks will MGs. Those 2 Panzer IVs will MGs. Into the command team, because they're not dug in. Everything else is going into the infantry, and he will continue to shoot at the
build that tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, unfortunately, did not destroy the T-34. wiped out some more infantry pinning them. Likewise over there with the bombardment and the 20 mils and such. So I'm going to launch an assault now with anything that can reach over here to try and clear up this point, and we'll be right back. Alright, so my assault went in, and I haven't killed everybody, but Bree failed her counterattack, so she'd have to fall back anyways. Unfortunately, that will take her off the point, and I did start within 4 inches, and will end out with enemy units outside of 4 inches, which will secure a German victory for this side mission, but will not affect the outcome of the current campaign. We will still move on to the Allied victory follow-up mission for the story. So in that note, we'll be right back with the cards, and then our debrief. Alright, once again, that was the village with the Hasty Attacj for the mission. So the rewards, the winner will randomly select a tier 2 reward, and the loser will randomly select a tier 1 reward. So, Bree, wants the top one. Okay, what do you get?
Lucky Dog. Discard to automatically pass 1 failed infantry save.
Alright, I've got to start getting you to remember to use those.
Yeah.
All right, and I will take one of these randomly selected tier 2 cards. For good optics, discard to add 8 inches range to a team's weapon until the end of the turn. Ooh, that could be good.
Ooh,
that could actually
dangerous.
be really good. So,
okay.
Now, because we finished a side mission, once again, we cannot do another side mission. We have to go straight on to our story mission, which will be push them back. It will be a counterattack, and because it was a Allied victory last, it's the Axis counterattack. And yeah, that'll be the next game that we film.
That was a close one.
That really was. That was really well played, honey. You're starting to really get the tactics down, and it's giving me a run for my money now.
It's because I remember to use my cards.
Yes. I mean, you don't need to remember them normally, because obviously they're just here because of the campaign, but try and give them a read over before our next story campaign mission. And yeah, no, I really thought the T-34s were going to be an issue. I was just lucky with the dice rolls towards the middle of the game there to crack more of them than you had, and then obviously getting my Jagdpanzers on with front number 9. Oh yeah, loving that. I might see more of those on the channel soon. And maybe some Hetzers, because everybody loves Hetzers, right?
No, I don't like Hetzers.
You don't even know what they do yet.
No, I don't. And I still don't like them because that look on your
I
face.
I know. That is fair. So, yeah. That was well fought, honey. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. All right. We will see you guys on the next video, but don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our Patreon if you wish. All right, folks. Keep sticks on the ice.
Take care, guys.
Wow.